Welcome to episode 249 of the Whatnauts review show, where every week we pick a story and we talk about it. That could be a movie, TV series, anime, manga, comic book, audio drama, all kinds of entertainment. We watch it, read it, listen to it, and then we come back here and we talk about it. My name is Melissa Wilkinson, and I am joined, as always, by Kyle Springer.
Yes, it's a Kyle Springer.
It is.
First of all, Melissa, how's your weekend been so far?
It's good. I figure you're about to talk about a video game adaptation movie. You said you were going to go see the animated Super Mario Brothers movie this weekend. Have you completed this task?
I have completed the task. I've gotten the achievement. I've gotten the platinum, all the Xbox points unlocked, even though it's not on Xbox. I've got all the Nintendo coins. Their next game is now like $1 off because they never go on sale. So yeah, we're gonna end up talking about the 1993 Super Mario movie here on this podcast. But yes, I went to go see the new one. And I can report back that it is a lot of fun. It's really hearted. I had a blast. They did a great job with
nice.
it. I know I was one of the people who had concerns about the voice of Mario and how they were going to do all of this. And I think they did a nice job, actually. It was a lot of fun. If nothing else, go see it for the animation alone.
It looks so good.
Incredible. It's gorgeous. The one unnerving thing is that when they are at home, they sometimes take off their gloves and you can see their weird human hands. And it's just like, this is like too real. Don't show me Mario with real looking hands. That's weird.
They're animated hands and not like some sort of clutch cargo they put in a video of a true human hand from real life. I would like that too. I would like that if he pulls off the gloves, it is a real human hand.
But yeah, we had a blast going to check that out. Besides Easter weekend, it's also Star Wars Celebration this weekend. So we've gotten a whole bunch of Star Wars news and trailers and casting announcements that I've been super stoked about. So it's been a good weekend so far.
Mm-hmm. I did not see any video game related movies, but I did go see a tabletop game related movies. I wanted to get out and make sure I saw Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves in a theater.
How was it?
Very fun, real solid. Absolutely worth your time. A very fun big screen adventure. Cool. Very cool uses of the magic in this world. I can tell they put a lot of thought into how do we really make the most out of what we're doing here. There's really inventive magic capers and cool visual effects with how the magic kind of distorts the world around them. It was inventive.
That's cool. I've heard some good things, but I think the movie I'm most interested in this weekend is Air. Because that's been sitting at like 99, 98 on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm not sure still, but like it has been like, this is the movie of the year. You need to I didn't expect this to be that good. I'm like, what? Who is she? Where did she come from?
You were not not allowed to call movie of the year in April. That's not fair.
Yeah, so I'm interested in seeing that one now, but I've not gone to see that yet. But it's been a good weekend.
It's been a good time. There's so many exciting movies coming out in just like the next handful of weeks. We're really getting into it.
Oh, yeah.
Spring is here. Movie season is here. It's Egg Day. So let's talk about Super Mario Brothers.
Indeed. Super Mario Bros. From 1993. That's what we're here to talk about this week.
So last week we watched Arcane, the animated Netflix series based in the world of League of Legends. Mm-hmm. And I thought it would be very funny if we followed up one of the highest regarded video game adaptations with one of the lowest regarded video game adaptations.
Yep.
And I've been wanting to revisit this one. When I pitched it to you last week, the SEO is so confused. You can barely find anything about the 1993 movie because the new movie just infects it. It's half about the new movie, even when you specifically Google Super Mario Brothers 1993. It's like, here's a bunch of reviews for the 2023 version. We presume that's what you meant. I don't know why you'd be Googling the 1993 version. Who let you in here? Do you have a permission slip? But when I Googled it, I didn't see immediately where it was streaming, but I figured we'll figure it out. We'll find it somewhere. We could find this movie in no places, in none that we could rent or stream or pay for in any way. So you went a hunting and you found on some internet archive site, you found not only 1993 Super Mario Brothers, you found the director's cut with a bunch of unfinished footage in there. So that's what we watched this week. Named after the two directors. I thought there was one person named Morton-Jankel who was just like some editor. You know how like Topher Grace re-edited all three of the Star Wars prequels into one supposedly better movie? I thought somebody had done that. But no, the directors' names are, let me pull these up here, Rocky Morton and Annabelle Jankel, a husband and wife team.
Yeah.
So we are seeing a bunch of their original conceived footage in this cut.
So, yeah, this is an interesting one because it is not a very well-received movie. It is not streaming anywhere. If I'm not mistaken, I think Bob Hoskins also didn't like this movie. I don't know exactly, but not streaming anywhere. You can't rent it. However, I saw someone post in one of the Discords that I'm in that sales for the movie have shot up on Amazon, like the physical copy of this to go check it out have shot up. So at least more people are checking it out.
Good.
But yeah, I'm curious to see what the thoughts are of this movie now after this animated one, because it's still bad. It's still not good, but I think there's even a few Easter eggs in the new one that kind of at least not in like a mention, but in a like the way certain things look, or maybe a way a certain thing plays out, like might be an Easter egg or a hint at this old one. So I think there is this like kind of soft spot for this bad, like people have soft spots for bad movies, right?
Yes.
Which is, I think, kind of where I landed on this one. It's a bad movie. It's not good. It's awful. But there's something about it that's just kind of fascinating that you have to watch.
There's something to this movie. I think it does have some moments of real ingenuity. It puts something on screen.
In this is wild.
Yes, there's some like character designs and costumes and production designs and settings that I think look really neat, that have stuck with me for years, that I've never seen anything put on screen that's quite like this movie. And I do mean that as a compliment. That's really why I wanted to watch it again.
Sure, yeah. But yeah, like the way they designed and made this world, there's so much thought into how it works and what it looks like and all that stuff that I think at first glance you might not notice, but then it's just like this is like the one stroke of genius of this movie, but then it's also just a mess of a movie.
It is, yes.
Nintendo did not make another movie based off of any of their properties for 19 years at least. I think that's what did I read? Where did I read that? I don't remember now. So now I'm just quoting random numbers, but it was a long time before they were like, we'll try this again.
Yeah.
But Man, yeah, I had a blast watching this one. As bad as I thought it was, it is just kind of a train wreck that you can't look away
I
from. So
it
good fun time.
has it has its failings. When I call a movie bad, I say bad not as an act of judgment. I have no right to judge anything. But I use bad as a genre term. I use bad as a category. You know, like I put this is in the same category as like The Room, Birdemic, Troll 2, other real classics like that. And I wanted it had been a long time since I'd watched one of those, and I think your soul needs it every once in a while. A movie under the bad genre.
For sure. But it also just happened to be serendipitous that the new Super Mario Bros. Is out right now. It's making all sorts of money. I think it's already in the like second highest grossing animated film of all time. So good for them. Real good stuff. Let's see other things I have to say. Yeah, I mean that like there are parts that I certainly liked about this. What was interesting, I think, even in like the description that I saw on the Internet Archive, like it described the world that they discover as cyberpunk, and I'm just like,
no.
I don't know if I would really describe it as that, but I see where they're coming from. Just the way they use those carts, and which is a nod to Mario Kart, right? They all have to use these go-karts that are hooked on to this electrical system, and it's fascinating just to be like, this is how did they come up with this? This is kind of cool, but it just feels like an underground mall that they're in.
Yeah.
Like the set is a mall that's just built underground. But I still had fun with this.
Yeah, I don't understand where the cyber classification comes from. There's nothing cyber about this movie. It's double servings of punk instead. I don't like dystopias. We've talked about this before, but I like this Dino Hatton set that they go to because it's so obviously a set. It's like it's so blatantly a set. Everybody's just walking around. You don't know where anybody's going or what anybody is doing. Like it's so silly in how it is a dystopia that it goes down pretty easy for me. And I was happy to be here again.
Yeah. Because the whole premise revolves around the Super Mario Brothers, of course. They are plumbers, and they have their like Newman type character, Scapelli.
Yes.
And Scapelli has a lot more money. He's richer. He can get to these jobs faster, but he's not necessarily doing a better job. And so there is a site that his construction workers were working on. They ended up finding some dinosaur bones. And so the like nearby university started to come in and be like, hey, this is now going to be an archaeological dig site. We need to study all of this. There's some important history here. Well, he thinks business should continue. Scapelli just wants to get back in there and dig. Who cares about the bones? They're old. They're dead. They don't make me money. So Luigi ends up meeting the girl who's basically in charge of the dig site. Kind of falls in love with her. They have a date where they sneak into the dig site and go look at these bones, because if that's not a hint that that's what they want to do, there's also some pipes right there. He has to fix lay some pipes, right?
Pipes.
Right.
There's so many metaphors in this movie.
But while they're on this date, it turns out that some Scapelli goons are also there, and they destroy some of the pipes. They make a big leak. And that's when Mario gets to work. He's like, I know how to stop this. He saves the day, but in doing so, they find basically this portal to, like Dino Hatton, as you called it.
Yep.
This world where the dinosaurs have lived since the meteor hit. They have stayed underground and have evolved in the sense that they are becoming more human-like, but they aren't there yet. And so they've developed technology to help them either like become smarter or become dumber, become more human-like, or become more dinosaur. So they now have control of what this looks like, and they are now waiting just for like the key to open the portal on their side, so that they can go live amongst the humans. A wild plot has nothing to do with the video game except that Mario is a plumber, and
I will say
dinosaurs are the Koopas.
The new movie, does he do as much plumbing? This movie's very plumbing centric.
He is a plumber. Yes, I mean you've seen that, like the commercial where it's them rapping, and they have like they do all of that stuff. They don't really fix anything. There is a scene they go to someone's house to fix a leaky faucet, and it goes bad. So yeah, I'll say that. But yeah, there
can't spoil the exciting plumbing scene in the new film, The Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
race to your local theater to see it today.
I will say, as a result of that, they do end up kind of finding this underground system of pipes. Similar to the dig site, that room they go in where everything is leaking and there's all those pipes, and they're just like, what is this? And they find that like hallway back into the caves in this one. In the new one, yeah, they find this big underground just weaving room of pipes, and then they find the one green one, right? That's what transports them to the Mushroom Kingdom. So there is like a similarity in that.
Okay.
Which
where
is
were they
what
before?
I was. Like in real life, where were they?
Like in the new animated movie, where do they live before they go to the Mushroom Kingdom? They're not already there?
New York. No.
Oh, they're like where we have, like with the big pizzas?
Yeah,
wow,
like
I
in the
didn't know
1993 one, they live in New York, and then they discover this new magical world. Yeah.
Wow. I truly don't know anything about Mario. He has a brother and he wears a hat. He tries to save a princess, but she's not there, so he has to go to a different castle. I know Wario, I know Waluigi, like I know what people look like, and I know their names, and I know like one thing they do, but I don't play video games. I never have, so I don't know like the transformations and the devices and the weapons and the power-ups. Like I don't know those.
I was just going to say the conceit of them living in New York and then like stumbling upon this new magical place is kind of for the movies. Like they don't really do that in the games. I mean, I guess maybe if you go back to the old like Donkey Kong games and stuff like that, where he is like questionably maybe more of a construction worker than a plumber.
Yes.
Like that might be set in New York, but also in one of the more recent video games, they did do a world called New Donk City, and it is
I know the phrase New Donk City.
Humanoid city, so questionably that could be the retcon that like, oh, he never lived in New York, it was New Donk City. I don't know, but yeah, there are some similarities in the new one to the old one that we are discussing here.
Good to know. See, I think this is one of the reasons why this 1993 Super Mario Brothers movie, and the trailers I've seen for this new one, go down really easy on me, because I do not know I or care I mean, I care about Mario as a fellow human being on this planet as much as I care about any fictional character in that regard. Like, I wish him well. I hope he's healthy.
The good
but
thing
it doesn't.
Oh,
No, I was just saying, like, it doesn't mean anything to me. Like, I have no stakes in the game of how Mario is represented. I'm just like, that's that guy with the hat and the brother who also has a hat.
Yeah, I mean, I would still like highly recommend the new one. I think you would like it a lot. It's just a good time.
Good.
It's not like Arcane, where I know there is this like complicated system of lore and world building and all. Like, Mario's pretty simple. You know, he eats the mushroom, he gets bigger. Right. There's the fire flower. That's kind of it. And
eating a mushroom and getting bigger are things I do.
Right?
We can all relate to that.
He hits the block and like coins come out, all of that good stuff. Like like the new Mario movie does not really need an explainer of like, wait, what is that? Like, is this some lore that I missed? And it's like, no, all right. So in Mario Galaxy, when he meets this, what, like, it's not that. Mm-hmm. It's not that at all. And the weird thing is, this old one is kind of even farther from that. Like, I feel like the older one, you need more explanation just because it's so strange.
It's really abstract.
It is an interpretation of it, not a literal, like, this is what you know from the movies or from the games, just put into a movie. It's an interpretation.
Yeah, not an adaptation. It's an interpretation. It feels like an art project and less of a film.
Yeah.
This feels like an installation I would go to, and they would pass around like little cheese cubes on toothpicks, and somebody would write about it for the local arts magazine.
What's the Terry, is that his name? What's the guy from
Gilliam?
Yeah. Almost feels like a Terry Gilliam interpretation of Mario.
Yes.
Even his movie Brazil that you just mentioned, has that same kind of just weird aesthetics every now and then. Just like, what is happening? That one is more cyberpunk than this, but there's just some creativity put into the world that they made here. But that, I think, is all I have to say, spoiler free, on Super Mario Bros.
If you have not seen it and you wish to see it and not be spoiled for how it ends, which might be 2 human beings on this planet Earth, we will do a spoiler break for you.
Yes, indeed. So we will be right back. We're going to do some housekeeping. And then when we get back, we'll dive into spoilers and all that jazz. So we'll be right back. Here at the Whatnauts, we make multiple different shows, and a lot of hard work goes into making them, so we would love it if you check them all out. If you enjoy our shows, patreon.com/thewhatnauts is the best place to show your support. For just $1 a month, you can get early access to episodes, and at our $3 tier, a Patreon exclusive podcast, The Pilots Club. You can even get a shout out and thank you on most of our shows at the $5 tier. And if you're one of our patrons already, thank you so much. It means the world to us. You can find out more information on our website, thewhatnauts.com, as well as your favorite podcasting platform of choice. When you type in the Whatnauts, all of our shows will pop up right there. Just don't forget to give us a nice rating and review if you like the shows. You can also find us on YouTube and Twitch for video versions of the shows, trailer reactions, and live streams. And lastly, we have merch. If you want to grab yourself a shirt or a hoodie or a mug or something else, head over to thewhatnauts.com/store to pick up some merch today. All right, we are back. Once again, a big shout out to all of our Patreon supporters. We thank you a lot.
Thank you.
It means a ton. This month over on the Pilots Club, we covered Bob Patterson, an interesting one, short-lived sitcom starring Jason Alexander. Yeah, only lasted a month. They only aired like 4 or 5 episodes. The ones that went unaired, some of them are lost to time.
Yes.
strange
we
stuff.
will never know what Clown Bob contains.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think Jason Alexander would make a good Mario?
Maybe. I feel like if he was younger, but I feel like he would
not now. Yeah,
I feel like he also would have been good in like what we have here with the 1993 one, where it's an interpretation of him rather than like, oh, you are Mario, you are the one
You're just
we know.
A Mario.
Yes, yeah, Mario multiverse, enter the Mario verse, right?
Oh man. All sorts of hats.
Yeah, so we watched Bob Patterson. We watched the pilot for that. It was an interesting one for sure. Go check it out. That is on the Pilots Club at our $3 tier and above on Patreon. But right here on the review show, we already mentioned it, but we covered Arcane last week. So if you are into video games and know something about League of Legends, you might want to go check out Arcane. If you know
or
nothing.
If you know nothing, yeah.
Yeah. This is a fantastic show. I went in to this not having played the game. I play a lot of video games, but I know nothing about League of Legends. And yeah, you don't need to know a thing. It's just its own world, its own story, its own magic system, and I think you'll have a blast. The artwork is incredible. The story is great. So yeah, we had a blast talking about that one here on the review show. This past week over on the Captain's Log, it was our snack attack. It was our taste test, where we got to eat a bunch of Pocky and Pretz.
Yes.
Melissa, how many boxes do you still have left to eat?
Oh, I polished off that almond butter. I really like the almond butter. I like that it's not too sweet, not really savory either, just right in the middle. Yeah, I've still got a lot. I'm going to be working through that.
Did your roommate have any? Because I know you said that they were interested.
I think she was less interested in eating them and more interested in just knowing what they were, just looking at them, having the knowledge of the Pocky. I tried to give her the corn that we were so impressed by. I don't know if she got the full effect of the corn.
Interesting. Good stuff. Yeah, I have a handful of boxes left. We got a variety pack of all sorts of different flavors. And yeah, I have like 6 of them left, I think, ish. Or around that much. I've been eating them constantly. So, but yeah, we got to taste all of those over on the Captain's Log, and that was a lot of fun. So go check that out as well. And last but not least, trailers galore over on the Reactor Core. It's the start of Q1 for a bunch of companies, so they are putting out new trailers for all the new stuff that's coming out this year. We have reactions to Barbie, Across the Spider-Verse, Drops of God, Blue Beetle, and Secret Invasion, all over there. Yeah, you guys might recognize Drops of God. We covered that here on the review show like 2 years ago. We read the first 4 volumes of that manga.
It's a manga about competitive wine tasting.
It's kind of wild. The trailer was not what I expected at all. But I'm now super interested to check out that show. And of course, Barbie, the new trailer for Barbie. I'm sold. It looks so good. Good stuff. But that is about it right now for housekeeping. So let's get on to spoilers. Here we go. Okay. Melissa, the first thing I want to talk about with this is Daisy. The inclusion of Daisy in this. So I also don't like, when I think Mario, I also think of Peach, right?
Yes.
That is the princess he's trying to save. I know Daisy. I'm familiar with her. I'm not super familiar with her like lore and exactly like, is she Peach's sister? Is she another princess from?
I know she has brown hair.
Yes.
She has brown hair and wears an orange dress.
Yeah. But I at least know her by name from like Super Smash Brothers and Mario Kart and stuff like that. I thought it was a really interesting choice to include her in this movie rather than Peach. Because I just thought Peach is just kind of it's like Mario and Peach and Peter Parker and MJ and like Daisy is more of the like Gwen Stacy or Liz Allen or whoever else, like one of the other like.
Peach is Minnie Mouse. Daisy is Daisy.
Yeah.
Donald Duck's girlfriend, who's also there sometimes, but is often more stylish than Minnie. I wonder if they picked Daisy just because that is a normal human name, whereas Peach is not. Peach. Yeah.
But that's also kind of strange because when you look up this movie on Google, I typed in Super Mario Bros. 1993, and you know how it gives you the cast of all of the stuff here, right? You got John Leguizamo as Luigi Mario, you got Bob Hoskins as Mario, all that good stuff. One of the characters that they list on the few of them that are listed here before you need to hit that see more is the character of prostitute. Not even kidding. So yeah, like there are a few prostitutes in the movie. You don't really see them. I guess maybe you could kind of say some of the girls who were kidnapped were maybe prostitutes. It's unclear. It's
right.
Just, when you see Mario's date, what was her name? Daniela or something like that. I don't remember exactly.
It's not a name that struck any significance with me.
I was like, oh, Mario, how much gold coins did she cost? And which is terrible of me. But that was my first thought there. So yeah, interesting that because something else that I thought is like this is more of a Luigi movie in my mind than it is Mario. So yeah, I think maybe the inclusion of Daisy makes more sense.
Yeah. To make it Luigi centric.
Sounds like a prostitute name, right? A sex worker's name. I'm a stripper name.
Anybody can be named anything, you know.
Well, sure.
You can be named Peach. Maybe there are kids out there. There's people of any age out there named Peach today. But I am wondering if that was it. Yeah, they wanted it a more Luigi-centric movie, perhaps because he is the younger character compared to Mario. He was going to be more of an in for the youths. Yeah. Daisy's his girlfriend, I guess. I don't know if that's canonical or if I just presumed that was the case.
I
just looking at the players you can select in Mario Party
going on here right now, and that's not necessarily a good thing.
Yes. But let's talk about Daisy herself as a character. Yeah. First off, it is odd that her name is Daisy, but she doesn't look like Daisy. She doesn't have the brown hair and the orange dress. The two things I know about Daisy. She's blonde. Yeah. I like her archaeology outfit at the beginning. I think that's a look you could see again today. She seems sweet. She's perfectly pleasant. I'm surprised that like a 23-year-old is in charge of the entire dig site and there's no senior faculty members there, but good for her.
Right. Yeah. Or like some kind of security from the city or the university. Yeah. She's just like, yeah, I'm a student. I'm a student worker. Working for credit or a meal plan or something.
Just working for them bones.
That. Yeah.
Just working for the sake of the bones, getting them cleaned up, putting them in a museum.
Every day it's bones. Yeah. Yeah, I like her character a lot. The movie starts out in this like very weird, dark and mysterious. Well, all right. So even before all of that, the movie starts out in like black and white stop motion dinosaur, like it's stop motion because that's just the best that they had. To, like prehistoric
no
times,
footage of real
right?
dinosaurs was available at this time.
Sucks for them.
There's no archival dinosaur footage.
Maybe if they dug deep enough. But yeah, starts with that. The meteor hits, and then it jumps to a more modern day time in Brooklyn, and there is this weird like metallic egg being delivered onto the steps of a like monastery. They knock on the door, they leave. It feels much more like a horror movie at the start of this, right? Like a Dracula or some kind of like vampire movie, some like universal horror movie.
There's a cloak, there's a cathedral. I can get how you would look at those and
dark,
think,
rainy night.
Yeah, universal horror. This mysterious cloaked woman leaves an egg on the steps of a cathedral. The nuns take it in, as nuns are wont to do. And then a human baby hatches out of a big egg. Happy Easter, everybody.
Yeah. But I have to say, this nun, before the egg even hatches, and it's a baby, there's 3 nuns that are like opening up this thing to be like, what is it? And the middle nun, the oldest one, is just so excited about this egg. She goes, oh, and like lifts it up. We're just like, oh, what an egg. What a beautiful egg. And it's just this like
have you ever seen an egg that big?
Thing. No, but like it's like before they even know what it is, like, and like there's no response of just like, huh? What is this?
Like,
I don't know. Do you know what this is? Like, who left? I don't know. They're just like, oh, what a beautiful egg.
Right. What
like,
a blessing. What a sign. The egg.
Yeah.
Then baby hatches out of egg. They name her Daisy.
Hail the egg.
It would have been funny if they named her Egg.
Yeah. You are Yoshi.
Princess Egg. And there's like a chunk of rock on like a leather strap that they find with the egg. And it's the classic, I'm an orphan and this is my piece of orphan jewelry. Wear it every day, never take it off.
That I know my parents left me.
Some people have a locket. She's just got like a big hunk of rock.
So, extrapolating off of this implies that Daisy is a dinosaur. Right? Her father is Bowser, as we learned later on, right?
No, Bowser's... Is Dennis Hopper Bowser, and then her dad is the king? I don't know if the dad has a name. Did he have a name?
Dennis Hopper is credited as Bowser, but he goes because they're all saying like vote for Koopa. Which is not.
I figured it
isn't. I don't think his name is Bowser Koopa. I think it's just Bowser. And so when they said that like the king that of Mushroom Kingdom, right? Or what I'm assuming is the like Mushroom Kingdom here, because there's all the like interconnected mushroomness all around there. He was a king. He used to be in charge. I figured that was Bowser. Like,
I don't think so.
Makes sense to me. I don't know that he was in charge before. He was the king of the Koopas. Bowser is the king of the Koopas. Like, who is just this random politician Koopa?
I thought Bowser and Koopa were the same guy. Like, that is his name, or maybe his name is like that's his full name. Bowser Koopa. Koopa Kelma.
Probably
B.
that.
Or maybe
they're all probably last named Koopa, like all of them, because they're all Koopas.
Right. Like Mario, Luigi, Mario. Your last name is the genre of thing that you are.
All
his name's
humans
Bowser,
are named
Koopa.
Mario. Yeah, all
that's what they learn.
Like
Mario. That's what the people of Dino Hatton learn about Earth. Oh, everybody's something Mario. Melissa Mario and Kyle Mario here. We're here to tell you about the movie.
It's me, Mario. Yeah, so I never once thought that Dennis Hopper's character was Bowser. I just thought he was a Koopa, a random one.
What is a Koopa?
They're those like turtle things. The Koopa Troopas.
And Bowser's like the big war turtle of all of them. He's Jack Black. I've seen him.
Yeah, I mean I feel like he technically is a Koopa, but he's like the bigger one. He has spikes on his shell. That's why he's the king. That's why they all listen to him. He's the big daddy Koopa, right?
Yeah, right. He's the Koopaest of all Koopas. Like, he is the end-all, be-all of the terms. You just call him Koopa. He is the highest that Koopa could ever be, even though his given name might be Bowser.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about this for too long.
We've analyzed it more than it needs to
be. This is too deep. There's other stuff I want to talk about.
It's just another random Koopa? Is she Daisy Koopa?
I guess. Her dad is Slime. Her dad's okay. So they go to Dino Hatton. They go through a sand portal. They like blue screened Bob Hoskins falling down a CGI portal. Great. And they land in this underground mall city.
I will say there is a similar scene of Mario falling in the new one. So yeah,
good to have a falling movie. The whole city is covered in what they tell us is supposed to be fungus, even though it looks like just muslin fabric that they ripped up and dyed like a pale orange color. I don't know if mushrooms grow like that. I don't know if any mushroom on our earth or another has ever looked the way this does, but the city is just swarmed in it. It looks like, I swear sometimes it is legitimately Halloween cobweb that you buy in a big bag for $3 at Spirit Halloween. The city's just covered in that, and they tell you it's fungus.
It's that and strings and rope and fabric. Fungus does actually work like that. They do have like an underground network where they connect and share.
I know that.
Information. You just said you didn't know if it works like that.
I'm just saying, it doesn't. I don't know if it looks like this. I don't know if it looks like moss and Halloween cobweb and just ripped up fabric.
I doubt it looks like that at all.
But then you find out so this fungus, it's not just like alive in that it is a plant of some kind. It's alive in that it is all one man. It's Daisy's dad. And in King Koopa, King President Mayor Koopa, like put him in that de-evolution machine and took him all the way back. Subhuman, sub-dinosaur. He's just like mushroom goop. And he just... he gave him like a throne as a joke to make fun of him. Like, that's your dad. Look, there he is on a, not even on a throne. He just like clings to the ceiling.
It. Yeah.
Drips over the throne. He's just like this big slimy hemorrhoid looking thing. And he grew across the entire city. And I guess Koopa like doesn't realize, or was like, yeah, that's fine. I can have my enemy just growing all over my city. What's he going to do? He's just like a fungus.
Yeah.
But he can move and stretch and do things and help Mario.
Yeah. In the new one, they make it so that Mario hates mushrooms. When he's like eating spaghetti at home, he's like, you put mushrooms in it? I hate mushrooms. And then he gets to the mushroom kingdom and has to eat those power up mushrooms. He's just like, has to eat that. But yeah, we get this like weird interconnected mushroom thing that is like trying to communicate with them. It is also like growing bombs. The bombs are like growing out of it, which is a strange thing. Or did they steal it? And he's like moved it in his web of
I presume
stuff.
that he did not grow the little bomb with the mechanical feet. He just sort of found it and just slowly dragged it into his fungus self, and then like slowly pushed it Mario's way. Take it. It's got little legs.
Yeah. The whole thing is strange. So who knows? Daisy has a real like Ray situation from Star Wars going on. Who is her father exactly? What position does he hold here? Is he
Who
just
are her parents?
King
What is her origin?
Koopa? Is she
Why did they abandon her on
Bowser's
Jakku?
daughter? I don't know. Yeah, who knows?
Will she ever be a pilot? I want to talk about the de-evolution machine.
Yes,
I think it's very funny that they strap you into the chair, and then they send the chair back 12 feet to the actual machine. Why isn't the chair just there to begin with? Why does it have to go backwards and forwards the 12 feet?
Maybe there's some kind of like safety thing that it might like
Can't
accidentally spark. Yeah. And you just need to be like, let's just move the seat up a little bit, right?
This may be a controversial question. I love those Goombas. I love them so dearly. How do you feel about those Goombas?
They are weird.
That's why I love them.
This is also a strange thing to me because they are the most dinosaur-like thing that we see in here. They have that like the green scaly dinosaur head, but then these like gigantic humanoid bodies, but they also like you could almost say they look like those like the Alvin and the Chipmunks all standing on top of each other, like wearing one big coat. Like that's how big and tall they are. They're all like wearing these trench coats, and their head is tiny. They have the like shrunken head thing, which is not at all what I think of as a Goomba, which are these like little brown, arguably also mushrooms. I don't know
they have like the
what
little
they
teeth.
are.
Goomba.
Yeah, just these little like gumdrop shape things. Like, but like, why are they these green dinosaurs in this? It's so weird.
I think I first
like they're so different that it's just like, oh, that's one of the Goombas from Super Mario.
They are one of my favorite creatures in cinema history. I first saw this movie, I think, as a young person, again, knowing nothing about Mario, far less than I even know today. And I was kind of unnerved by the movie, but also I did like parts of the production design. Like, I liked these guys. They were so unnerving and uncanny that I latched onto them. It's so ugly. I love it, in the words of Cassie Lang. Watch the movie again, you know, in college, you all hang out, you watch a bad movie. They still play for me. They play for me so hard. I love the construction of them, that they're huge. I imagine underneath it is like a person wearing a big suit. And I'd have to
on top of it. Yeah.
Right. And I think I'd have to watch it again, but I think in the long shots, the heads don't really move. I think they are animatronics for close-ups only. So it's just like these puppeteers walking around in these huge suits where the shoulders are like over their heads. They have these wide shoulders that have like no weight to them. It feels like it is a coat on a hanger that just walks around.
This like hollow.
Absolutely hollow, like a chocolate Easter bunny. There's no caramel in there. There's nothing. It's hollow. It's made out of wires on the inside. It just like the red trench coats and the unnecessary spikes on everything. They're all dressed the same. They got the tiny heads, and you've got ones that are like more dinosaur looking, crocodile, alligator looking with like snouts. But then when they do this to Toad, the tiny round head with the big dopey grin on it. They're all so happy. That's what I love about them. They're just absolute dopes. Happy to be serving King Koopa. Happen to be wandering around. I love when they go in the elevator and they just dance with each other. That's such a memorable scene.
Yeah, it's a weird scene too, because that is the solution to like, well, how do we get around that? Like they're so big and bumbling that they don't even notice that Luigi and Mario are in there with them. And then Luigi figures out that they like music. Like I think one is like tapping its foot to the beat or like bobbing its
Oh,
head.
it's a
And he's like,
musician. He's got his little
"Mm."
harmonica.
So yeah, then that one was Toad. And so he like starts to like rock them back and forth to the music, and then slowly does each of them as they all start to rock back and forth. And it's like, oh, they all like music. Interesting. And then they like, as they all are dancing with one another, that's where they make their escape. Such a weird scene of like, why would you think this would work? What is going on here?
Why do they pair off into couples? Why do they waltz?
Yeah, why didn't you think that you could like they're so big, like you're basically moving around freely in that space. Like, why not just like throw a coin or something to the side that the door is not on to distract them, and you just walk out the front door? Like, I don't understand. It's such a weird scene, but yeah, it sticks with
all
you.
Of them are. There's no normal scene here. I don't know what you're talking about.
You are right. There is no normal scenes in this movie.
I also, there's so much to talk about down here in Dino Hatton. What I was saying earlier is that it looks so clearly like a set. It does not look or function at all like a real city. And there's some world building here, but also there isn't, because I have no idea what the citizens of the city do all day. There are businesses. There's
they trade,
clubs,
they barter, they go to clubs.
There's like there's not a hot dog cart, but like a lizard cart where they just put like 3 roast lizards on a bun. No sauce. I don't know who's eating 3 lizards on a bun. Dry. Yeah, didn't like that.
That's also strange to me though, because that aren't most of them lizards in a weird way. Like they're
lizards would
dinosaurs.
eat other lizards, right? Big dinosaurs eat little dinosaurs, don't they?
I mean, I guess.
I mean, I wasn't there. I didn't see them. I don't know, but I presume a big dinosaur would eat a little dinosaur.
I'm comparing it more to just how weird it would be if a hot dog was actually like human meat, right? And it's like, that's not what humans do. Humans don't eat smaller humans. That said, go check out our reactions to Yellow Jackets over on the Reactor Core or Cannibalism.
We've reviewed Hannibal.
Right, yeah.
We've reviewed The Terror. So like there are small businesses that you see, but every scene is so crowded, and I have no idea why it's crowded. Like, where is anybody going? What are they doing? And it's a dystopia, but not in any way. Like, there's no freedom fighters. There's no resistance. This isn't Andor. Like, people just have this attitude of, what's Dino Hatton for ya? Going about my business. And they have like a big boombox over their shoulder that plays no music. It's just for the visual gag only. It's so detailed, but also so flimsy at the same time. It's like right in this uncanny valley of fictional dystopias in a way that I like. It feels silly to me.
Also, because once you get out of the like mall looking area, there are the like more corporate levels where Koopa is, and he has all of his labs and headquarters, and that's what Mario and Luigi are running around in the second half of this movie as they're trying to rescue Daisy and Mario's date, who I forget her name.
I think Daniela.
Yes, something like that. They're trying to rescue all of them, and there's one scene where Koopa and a few of his Goombas are walking down the hall, and I think Luigi and Daisy like open up a door and almost like run right into them, and they are it just looks like they're on some lot, some like Hollywood lots. They open the door and it's just like that's outside, but inside is the set here, and then they keep the door open to help light the scene. It's like, man, some of these shots just had no budget. Like, this is what they're like. It's also like an odd look at just like, this is actually how movies are made. Like, this is a set. They are on a lot. You can open that door and Wendy's is right down the street, right? Like, you can get, yeah, it's so weird.
I want to talk about the costumes because Mario and Luigi, at the end of the movie, they get those like jumpsuits that don't look exactly like the video games, but look more like the video games. That's what they're wearing on like the VHS box cover. But at the beginning of the movie, like they arrive here in Dino Hatton in just really nondescript clothes. It's just like we grabbed something out of our closet, we threw it on. There's not really any
average New Yorker
style or aesthetic to grab on.
T-shirt.
Yeah. So you've got that, but then you also have there are for like the princess outfit that they put Daisy in, that purple dress with the ombre and the like strands of little amethyst chips like around her neck and her shoulders. That dress is gorgeous. And everything that they have Fiona Shaw in. Fiona Shaw is such an interesting addition to this movie. She's so stylized.
I had no idea she was in this. Yeah.
I think she's great. She's one of the shining lights of this movie. She's styled so well. She's got these really interesting, like avant-garde, asymmetrical, very severe, like super villainous wear for sure. She looks great. Like the costumes are either nothing or they're incredible in this movie. And she's got these scenes with Daisy where like they talk about who her parents were, like they have some sort of a connection. You can tell she's like threatening Daisy, but also kind of sad and regretful about like things that have happened and how like Koopa has become so transfixed on, you know, like getting the meteorite and you know, merging these portals together and like all this world domination, and he doesn't have time for her anymore. Like there's something to her character. I think her character's name is Lena.
It's Lena, yes. And I thought she was gonna be the like wizard Koopa. Her name is Cammy because like her hair is always up like in again some like avant-garde big style, but it almost comes to a point similar to like a witch's hat or something like that, or it looks kind of like bird feathers like sticking back there, which I know the Koopas aren't birds, but like
I was thinking about like those dinosaurs that have the like point on the back of their heads. I thought she might have been one of those ones.
I was thinking she was going to be some other kind of Mario character, but I don't think Lena is any. She's just Lena Bring Koopa.
Her back. Mario Universe. Integrate Lena. She's a great idea. We mentioned that this movie was directed by a husband and wife team. There is a real feminine presence here. The Super Mario Brothers movie, 1993, passes the Bechdel test. Would you believe it? I think it's incredible that is in this big sloppy mushroom soup of a movie.
Yeah, I do also have to add that Cammy, the one I was thinking she would be, is not a character that was introduced yet into the Mario universe at that time, so wouldn't have been her. But yeah, it definitely reminded me of that character or something similar. But
now the lady who's the bouncer at the Boom Boom Club, who's covered in more spikes than anybody else is. I don't know what. Is she like one of those big chompy plants? Is she a piranha plant? What is she an allegory for in the game?
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like the piranha plants would be a good thing, though they also have I don't know when they introduced all of this stuff into the Mario lore and what have you. But also that they have those blue like blocks that stop you from like doing all that stuff. I mean, that fits for just the occupation of a bouncer. The character's name was Bertha, right?
Yeah, Big Bertha. So is that an enemy?
Bertha.
I'm gonna Google
I don't
it
think
too.
so.
Big
Mario
Bertha
Wiki.
Mario. Oh, when you Google it, you just get the lady from the movie. Oh, Big
Yeah.
Bertha was this like big piranha fish, not a piranha plant. Piranha the fish.
Okay, the Cheap Cheeps, the big Cheap Cheeps, originally known as Boss Basses and Big Berthas,
Okay.
and later as Mega Cheap Cheeps. They're these like flying fish type things. I wouldn't have gotten that at all.
That being said, this lady is still a presence. She's still, you don't know what
fantastic.
She's supposed to represent. Like, that actress seems so locked into exactly what that role needs her to do. She's so effective. She's so memorable. She's tough, but she's tender. She wants to dance with Mario. She just wants to be romanced. She's strong and she's silent.
This is the last note that I wrote down. After a bit, this movie got so wild that I just stopped taking notes. I was like, I just need to watch this. This is ridiculous. The last note that I wrote down was Mario likes it rough. And then Mario right in the titties. What are you doing? Yeah. Mario, this is a kids movie.
Kids movie.
She stole this like rock necklace, this meteorite necklace that is the key to the portal to get all the dinos back. She does not know that that's what it is, but she just likes it. Hey, it's something that is wanted by these people. There's value in this. And so she takes it, and they have to try and get it back from her. Mario goes up in his like pimp suit that he's now in, and he's just like, hey baby, like, you know, we real good for each other, you know. And she just decks him, just punches him, knocks him out, and then he gets back up and he tries again, and she says something along the lines of like, you do that and I'll hit you all you want. He's just like, okay. And I was like, whoa, Mario, okay. But then, as he's trying to like finagle this necklace off of her without her noticing, which the movie is doing a terrible job of that, making it so she doesn't notice. But she's also not noticing. But then, he like tries to like grab it with his mouth or something. It's like it's right in her cleavage, and he just goes for it. He's bobbing for apples. He's just like, whoa, Mario.
Another funny.
I don't think that was any of the footage that was like the extra found.
There's extra footage that is more of them dancing with each other, which is nice. But this was in the theatrical cut in 1993.
Anyways.
Another funny thing about the club scene to me is that there's so many extras wearing stilettos, even though every floor is just a grate. I'm like, I don't know how they're not falling through. I don't know how they don't get stuck.
Yeah. That and the one more like weird production thing that I wanted to talk about is in some of these scenes that were the like director's cut, their extra put in there, some of the like visual effects of like the like color grading or all that stuff was not finished on them. Some of the sound had some work that needed to be done. There's some scenes, I think, when they get to Dino Hatton, as we keep calling it, where one of the extras is yelling out one of the most random things I've ever heard. Elvis smells really good. Elvis smells really good. They say it multiple times, and you can hear it. Like it's not like it's supposed not supposed. Is that what they're really saying? It's very clear that is what some random background character is yelling. I don't even know who it was, but it just.
That's got to be like, you know, background extras will murmur like peas and carrots, peas and carrots, peas and carrots. Like just like phrases that just get your mouth moving in a way that looks like you're talking truly legible, purposeful words.
Ahmet, yeah.
Right. That's surely got to be that extra's like murmur phrase is Elvis smells really good.
That's the thing. Like, it's not, from what I could tell, it's not someone on screen that like is right there near. It's someone off in the background or off camera, but just still on set. Like if the camera moves, they still need to be there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where the mic is placed in this. They're yelling it. Like they are far enough away that they're yelling it. Just like, Elvis smells really good.
Was this in the bonus stuff that maybe didn't have the sound finished yet? Or was this in the theatrical footage?
No, this is what I'm talking about. Okay. The like extra stuff that is in there. I just thought it was really funny that you could hear this thing. I'm just like, Elvis smells really good.
Gotta spread the word. Man's been dead for 15 years, but we still must know.
They must have him down there with them, right? He's buried somewhere, right? Elvis is a dinosaur.
We need to talk about one of the most incredible deleted scenes, a scene that I had never heard of, which is when, what are their names? Spike and Iggy, the two goons with like the weird suits, who then they keep fumbling up the plans and Koopa's mad and he's like, I'm going to evolve you further. You're already in human form, but I'm going to make you smarter. I'm going to give you more of a human brain, whereas now you kind of just a big dumbo dinosaur brain. You're going to get smarter. So they're not necessarily smarter, but their vocabulary is fancier when they come out of that machine. They're kind of fun. And
well, it's interesting because they are kind of smarter in the sense that they are now recognizing the like political stupidity of it all, the unfair, right? Yeah, like they know how to make a deal. They are protesting now. They are they are protesting a law that they know will get them arrested and all of that. Like, so they have some smarts to them, but they are still just these kind of like bumbling butterfingers, just idiots. Like as smart as you are, you're still just idiots, right? And it's great. I loved them.
But there's a deleted scene where they do an entire rap. Now that they are smart, they rap against the power that is Koopa.
This is the protest I was talking about. Yeah. Because earlier we saw Toad singing a song. He gets arrested, and then that's when he, like, as punishment, gets turned into one of these Goombas.
But he's allowed to keep his harmonica. Very cute.
Yeah. And he's still good inside. He's not, like, mindless. He's still trying to help out Daisy and stuff like that. Then we see them go in this club and just start rapping and getting on stage and just like doing and it's so
real party poopa.
It's so dumb, but it's so funny.
I can't believe here in the year 2023 nobody told me. I had never heard, hey, do you know there's a deleted scene from the Super Mario Brothers movie where Fisher Stevens does a full-length rap? Why? Why did nobody tell me? Where was I?
Melissa, you are a connoisseur of lost media. This is right up your alley. Good stuff. Yeah, it's just, it's wild. They get themselves arrested. Nothing really comes of it, except that they are now drawing the attention of Koopa, and they are being stubborn. Right, and just being like, I'm not going to do exactly what you say. You're not, you know, all that good stuff. But man, yeah, by the end of this, they are rescuing all the hostages. They are saving Daisy. They are destroying all the political machinations of Bowser Koopa or whoever he is. I'm still not convinced But yeah, they get to use those like rocket shoes to like do the jump. They learn to trust in the fungus. There's the
believe in the heart of the cards.
The action scenes in this, I actually don't mind that much.
The
car
at the
chase
beginning of the movie.
Great.
Yeah, at the beginning of the movie, when we're still like out in regular New York, when they're just doing regular plumbing things, there's scenes of them just standing around talking that don't really have any pizzazz to them. They're kind of flat. But then when you have more action scenes, I think they are shot pretty dynamically. Like when they're breaking out of that prison that's just stacks and stacks of big cages.
Yeah.
Like there's a scene where they have to run down these stairs and the camera kind of follows them, or when they put all the girls on the mattress and they slide down that ice tube, the camera's kind of spinning and twirling and twisting around. There are some really dynamic action scenes in this movie when it's time for them.
Yeah. I liked that car chase. Again, I just think it's a really, really neat idea that the only like car technology they figured out is basically bumper cars. It's go-karts, because Mario Kart,
sparks
right?
all over the place. Yeah,
it's such a great idea. But yeah, then there's the thing of them on top of that one car going backwards is all the thing. You know, like it's just kind of fun to watch. There's the big like rocket launcher, the fireballs that they're shooting off, these jump boots that like rocket them all over the place. Like they have some interesting stuff happening in these action scenes that I kind of like. But yeah, I did think it was interesting that it wasn't a like he eats the mushroom and that's how he gets the ability to jump, but everyone else needs the rockets.
He can't eat Daisy's dad.
But do they know it's Daisy's dad until
I think
right?
I think at that time they don't know who it is, but they can tell there's something like alive and sentient about this fungus. So we can't just grab a big handful of that Halloween spider webbing and shove it in his mouth and eat it, because that's somebody.
But like I feel like those rocket boots are kind of a cheap way to do the jump.
I know he jumps.
So a little bit disappointed in that. I did like it though when he used it more as a weapon and just like shot the rockets out of it, or made it so that the boot like went and hit someone. Like I thought that was smart. And stuff like that. But yeah, at the end, it's all just chaos and Mall is getting destroyed. There's the weird like fight scenes where they're kind of switching back and forth between the Mushroom Kingdom and Manhattan, right? And they're just getting portaled back and forth there.
They turn Scapelli into a chimpanzee.
Yep.
Also, I think this is the first chimpanzee I've seen on screen since I watched Nope. You feel different about it now.
Yeah. Also, like, is that supposed to be any kind of reference to Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong?
No, I think it's just Scapelli Kong, the popular character we all know. Yes. I think it's just that
my third favorite Kong, Scapelli Kong.
Did like they can de-evolve into dinosaurs. So when they go to the human world, the de-evolution here is like you turn into a monkey, which isn't precisely how it goes. It's just the visual gag of, look, we have a chimpanzee here now, back in the rich chimpanzee 90s.
Yeah. Wild stuff. But yeah, they do their thing. They save the day.
They do.
They close everything. So yeah, do they close everything back up so that the dinos just stay under there, or do they give them the opportunity to like live amongst the humans? I don't remember. I think they lock it up, right?
Yeah, and then Daisy is going to be, her dad's back to being a guy and not a fungus anymore. She's gonna get to know her dad. They're gonna form a new democracy in Dino Hatton now. So she stays on the other side. She says
down with
goodbye
the
to
monarchy.
Luigi,
right?
And she says, I don't know exactly what they do, but she seems very fair. I think she's going to let the citizens of Dino Hatton have a say in their futures. But so she gets left on the other side, and then at the end of the movie, she just barges back into their apartment, like she found where they live. Like, guys,
Come
we
with me if
need
you want
help.
to live.
We're in trouble. I have a big gun and like a bullet belt now.
Yeah. She does the action movie come with me if you want to live style stuff. Yeah. Man, it's a strange end credits thing. I don't know if you knew this. Maybe you saw it as you were looking up. They started an official comic that was a sequel to this. It eventually, the comic never got finished, but it picked up some of the plot threads that was in this movie, and had, I don't know if it was the blessing or one of the film's writers was also working on the comic, but like that is how they could say it was like, this is the official sequel, but it was in a comic book form. So if you want to find out a little bit more about what happens when Daisy shows up there with the guns, you can go read the comic. It's available online. So there you go. Fun fact.
Interesting. Well, yeah, I did not know that.
Got an official sequel. But yeah, I don't know if I have much else to say on Super Mario Bros.
I was happy to watch it again. I don't know if I need to watch it another time for many more years, but there is something special to this movie. I think there is some real craft in this that is worth watching and pointing out and celebrating.
Sure. Absolutely. Lots of great creativity in there that I liked. It was just fascinating to see how that world came together.
Yeah.
So good stuff with that. Melissa, let me get bingo all pulled up here. So we can switch over to that.
It's amazing.
I know I got hot dogs. I have reached my hot dog quota.
Oh my gosh. Congrats.
Let me see here. I need to scale this down a little bit and then bring it over on screen. There we go. Here's our bingo cards right now. Okay, I got it. I have reached my hot dog quota, and I will tell you what movies and what stuff this has all been in. Let me open up my notes that has this hot dog quota. We got one in Modica Magica.
Yes.
We got one in F9 when we were covering Fast and Furious, and we got one here in Mario. When Spike and I forget the other guy's name.
Oh my God,
scoping
Spike and
Daisy
Iggy,
out.
I think.
Yeah, they eat hot dog. They're like he said they're hot dogs. It's made out of dogs, and they just eat these like dry hot dogs.
They throw the buns away and just feed wieners into their mouths.
But they had hot dogs, so
they did. That
my
counts.
quota
It absolutely
of 3 hot
does.
dogs. Yeah.
So I am able to cross off. I'm very happy for you. Congrats on the hot dog victory.
Thank you. Thank you.
I hope you have a good Easter dinner of hot dogs today. I'm able to cross off Secret Royalty. I have the square.
Do I have that one? Yes, I do have that one too.
Congrats. Good.
Secret Royalty.
I have the square small timer in over their head, but I think it's like, I'm a small time PI. I just cover like, is my husband cheating on me? And now I have to solve a murder. Like, I think you have to be in the field that you are called upon to do something and not a complete outsider. So like a plumber being called upon to save a mushroom kingdom. I don't think that necessarily counts for what I was looking for.
I feel like I'd give it to you.
You'd let me have it.
I think so. I mean, because like,
Okay.
Even in terms of being a plumber, he's a small timer, right? He has
That
to fix that
he's never
whole thing
he's never in over
underground.
his head though. He's always like, I can take this job. Give it to me. I know how to do it. I'll do it in 2 hours. Scabelli can't.
I guess. I guess I'm also thinking of him then just stumbling into this world of dinosaur. Like he's in over his head in that sense. He's also not like the hero in a traditional sense. He is heroic. He is fairly competent,
Mm.
right? And all of that stuff. But I feel like I'd still say he's in over his head.
I
I don't know.
I meant
You
it
decide.
as like I'm a small town sheriff now. I get called into the big city for some huge case, or like
Okay. Yep.
I'm the little pipsqueak. I'm the lowest member on the sports team, and now I have to play in the big game. Like it's something like that, not just
I gotcha.
any case of a person who is unprepared goes on a wondrous adventure. Like I meant something kind of specific.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
can I have rubber suit monster for them Goombas?
Yes. Yeah. I'll
Yes.
give that to you
Okay.
for sure.
I meant it in a kaiju sense, but I think this is the closest we're going to get all year.
They're small kaiju. They are giant.
Yeah, I don't know what
monsters
the
in a
size
sense,
limit
right?
is on being a kaiju.
You have to be this tall to ride the ride.
Mm. All right, so I got a couple squares, but still no bingos. I'm getting close though.
Yep. Inching ever closer.
Mm.
That is our bingo update for this week. Melissa, let's get on to recommendations.
Yes.
If people enjoyed Super Mario Bros., what else might they enjoy?
I'd like to shout out my favorite video game movie, something I pitched to you last week. We could have also watched Wreck-It Ralph. It's just a video game pastiche. I don't need to have a lot of specific knowledge about the lore of any one video game, so it's perfect for me. I can meet it at its level. I've seen Hubert before. I know that's what his name is. This movie is, I think, really well put together, well cast, really funny and charming. A really interesting consideration of characters who know that they are characters and that they have a role they have to serve in their story. Like there's no game unless I am the antagonist. I must continue to play that role. But how do I also view myself as my own whole person apart from what I do at work, smashing things, wrecking things, if you will, in a video game so that Fix It Felix Jr. can fix it. It's a movie I think of often. I would love to return to. I would also shout out Tron Legacy. This movie structurally kind of reminds me of Tron Legacy, and that it's somebody who gets sucked into another world that is one big threatening city surrounded by nothing but desert out there.
Yes. Yeah.
That sort of biome dichotomy is these two movies remind me of each other. Super Mario Brothers and Tron Legacy. Although that's all the cyberpunk you're looking for. Definitely all the cyber energy Super Mario Brothers does not have.
Yeah, absolutely. We already mentioned Brazil just in the way the set looks. That
also
one is
starring
much
Bob
more...
Hoskins, I think.
Oh, interesting. I didn't even realize that.
I think so.
Yeah, that one, I just feel like the way the set looks, the way the world is created with just how weird it is, things hanging, pipes everywhere, all that good stuff. There's like an odd similarity between them, but beyond that, nothing to compare them. But man, I so at the start of the podcast, when I had said something like it for 19 years they didn't do another life, I was thinking of Detective Pikachu. I don't know where I got 19 years, but from this movie to Detective Pikachu, they never did another live action movie based on a sort of Nintendo property. But yeah, I loved Detective Pikachu. I thought that
It's
was
fun.
great. It's a lot of fun. I think we covered that over on the Reactor Core as it came out
long ago.
one of our other podcasts, and it's up here on YouTube as well. But yeah, that I'm sure the two recent Sonic movies would be good. I'd maybe even dump in those Angelina Jolie Tomb Raider movies.
Yeah.
If you want to do that stuff.
Dump those in.
Yeah, dump those in, you know?
I also want to mention the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie.
Yes.
That I feel like has some similar aesthetics. It's got Ivan Ooze. You've got this really cartoonish, made up prosthetic villain.
Love me some
no
Ivan
fungus,
Ooze, man.
but plenty of ooze. Just a big mine. More mall vibes.
Yep. Indeed. Yeah, I think that's some good recommendations right there. So yeah, let's see. Next week here on the show, it is my turn to do the pitches. Next week is episode 250. I'd say that's a pretty good milestone.
It is.
We're not necessarily doing anything special, but I thought it would be fun to go back and bring some of the things that I covered on the very first original iteration of the podcast that we did here at the Whatnauts and bring those up here to the review show. So there's a lot of things that I would like to bring up to this show eventually, but here are three that I think would all be great to have in our catalog of things we've covered here on the review show. Pitch number 1 is a graphic novel entitled Marvels. This is by Kurt Busiek and Alex Ross.
Yeah.
Melissa, you and I have covered the audio drama adaptation of this that Paul Bay worked on, of the Black Tapes and all that good stuff. Yeah, this is it's a 4-issue mini-series, but the issues are oversized. It's set between 1939 and 1974 in the Marvel universe.
Can you detail what you mean by oversized? Like, are they more pages or are the pages
more
bigger?
Pages? Yes. Yeah.
How many pages is Marvel's altogether?
Let me see if I can look this up. Marvel's graphic novel. It's gonna give me the Amazon page. That's what I need. 248.
Okay.
Pages. Yeah. So yeah, that's probably about 50-ish pages per issue, plus some extra stuff in between. I don't know if there's going to be extra stuff in there or not. Might be like 60 pages each for each issue. But yeah. So yeah, that it takes place over a long period of time in the original Marvel universe, dating back to some of the earliest heroes and villains. And it says the collective setting of most Marvel. Let's see, it's from the perspective of an everyman character, notable photographer Phil Sheldon. The street-level series portrayed ordinary life in a world full of costumed superhumans, with each issue featuring events well known to readers of Marvel Comics, as well as a variety of minute details and a retelling of the most famous events in the Marvel Universe. Yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I thought not only would it be neat to bring up because we've covered it on the review show or on the Whatnauts podcast a long time ago, but because we've done the audio drama adaptation of it, not the actual source material, though.
Mm-hmm.
So that is pitch number 1. Pitch number 2 is a favorite graphic novel of mine, entitled I Kill Giants.
Mm-hmm.
This is written by Joe Kelly and art by J.M. Ken Nimura. And this also got a movie adaptation too, which I also highly recommend. The movie, it is very, very good. But it says, it's a story about a girl who's a bit of an outsider. She's funny, but totally in her own geek land. She's obsessed with Dungeons and Dragons. She does not have a lot of friends, and she's a bit of a social misfit. She's taken her fantasy life a little bit too far and really only talks about giants to people. She's convinced that giants are real and are coming, and it's her responsibility to stop them when they show up. I'll stop there just in case there's any more spoilers. But yeah, there is this really, really nice panel of her. It's like first day of school, and you know all the students are introducing themselves, or it's something similar, and she introduces herself like, "Hi, my name's this, and I kill giants." And it's just like, oh yeah, she's badass, she's cool. But she is, a little bit lost in her own head, and it's kind of an exploration of why is that? Is what she's talking about real or not? We don't know. And yeah, it's a tear jerker. I will say that. But it is very, very good. I love it. That is pitch number 2. Pitch number 3, one that we've mentioned previously on some podcast somewhere here that we've done, that we wanted to bring this back. This is The Flintstones by Mark Russell. I don't know who does the art on this right off the top of my head. I apologize for not knowing that. But this is The Flintstones, volumes 1 and 2. It says, welcome to Bedrock, where Paleolithic humans head to dinner for a taste of artisanal mammoth after shopping at Neanderthal and big men's clothing, where Wilma shows her modern art, and where if you take a plane, you could end up heading on the literal tail section. It's Fred, Wilma, Pebbles, Dino, Barney, Betty, and Bam Bam, as you've never seen
all the vitamins
them
you know
before.
and love.
Yeah, as I knew I was going to pitch this, I was like, man, kids today, do they know the Flintstones? Because like that, it wasn't even our generation. Really, it was like we had it because of reruns, though. But
yes.
Do kids know who the Flintstones are today outside of vitamins? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's necessary to know the Flintstones. I don't know what they offer the youth of today.
Yeah. So it says the Flintstones garnered significant critical acclaim for its modern take on the iconic Hanna-Barbera primetime animated series. This darkly humorous title casts an acerbic eye on issues like consumerism, religion, politics, and relationships that is both distinctly 21st century and uniquely the Flintstones. I fell in love with this book when we read this one. It is great satire, social commentary. It's funny. It's interesting. It's 12 issues, and there is a special that is Booster Gold and the Flintstones special number 1. Yep.
What?
That's also, or at least that's what's collected in the like deluxe hardcover edition. So I don't know if that'll be in the one we read, but that's out there. So yeah, you guys can go check all that stuff out. So that's pitch number 3. Again, to recap, pitch number 1, Marvels. Pitch number 2, I Kill Giants. And pitch number 3, The Flintstones. Melissa, what are you up for here?
Real interesting selection of pitches. I was trying to guess if you were pulling out old Whatnauts favorites, what you might list. I saw I Kill Giants coming. I was picturing, I thought the third one might be a 20th Century Boys. You mentioned that one a lot.
Yes.
But
I love that
The
one.
Flintstones is one of the ones that I was sad I missed out on. I gotta go with The Flintstones. First of all, this was a movie I forgot to mention in recommendations. If you liked Super Mario Brothers, surely the live action Flintstones is a step up from that. It's another movie that is questionably conceived, but unquestionably like so well designed. The Flintstones movie cannot look better than it looks. Like I don't know how it's not good, but I also don't know how you top that movie.
Right.
It is another 90s curiosity to ponder on.
For sure.
I want to do The Flintstones. This is one that I again still hear good things about, still really want to check out. I know they've also got another family of interesting Hanna-Barbera retellings, like it's Snagglepuss, but he's Tennessee Williams. I'd love to get into some of those someday. So let's start here.
There was a Jetsons one.
Right.
I think.
I don't know if like Scooby-Doo Apocalypse is sort of in that family of titles they were working on, but let's start with the Stone Age family. I also think it's very funny. We're going from dinosaur title to dinosaur title.
Yes, good stuff. Yeah, this book is great. I highly recommend you guys going to find this book. Unfortunately, it's also like not available to read on Comixology Unlimited, so I will be purchasing this for us because this is absolutely worth it. But yeah, it is a great one for sure. Highly recommend checking out this book. I'm so excited to talk about it here.
Good.
But that is what we will do for next week. So get excited about all of that good stuff. That wraps us up, though, for our podcast here on Super Mario Bros. Melissa, where can the people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Wilkywit. That's WILKYWIT. And for more 90s vibes and more discussion of big finger quotes bad movies, listen to my other podcast, Saturday Morning Obscurities, a show I co-host with my brother Jams, where we talk about weird old kid shows you feel like only you remember. Perhaps if you enjoyed our discussion on Super Mario Bros, maybe listen to our episode we did on We're Back, a Dinosaur Story.
Great. That was an awesome one. Good stuff. If you guys would like to follow me, I am at Kyle Springer. And if you'd like to stay up to date with all of the stuff that we do here at the Whatnauts, we are at the Whatnauts on Twitter. So please go like, share, and subscribe. You guys know the deal with all of that good stuff. If you're watching this on YouTube, we'll have more videos right over there on that side that you guys can check out as well. But this has been number 249 of the Whatnauts Review Show. We will see you all next week for 250. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.